Hey, what's up, y'all? So I'm back with another Road to CCNA video. And in this video, we covered Layer 2 Discovery Protocols, CDP, Cisco Discovery Protocol, and LLDP, Link Layer Discovery Protocol. Now, the ultimate goal of these Layer 2 Discovery Protocols is to share information with devices that they are directly connected to. They can share things like the host name, the device type, and the software version. And now, even though CDP and LODP both have the same end goal, there are a few slight differences. Starting with CDP, it is Cisco proprietary, which means it only works on Cisco devices, and it is enabled by default on Cisco equipment. LODP, on the other hand, it is not Cisco proprietary, nor is it enabled by default. We have to actually go in there and configure it. And another thing, when it comes to configuring it, you have to configure it to transmit and receive. Also, another thing about these Layer 2 discovery protocols is, depending on the protocol, you will get a message either every 60 seconds or every 30 seconds. And this is how the devices connect with each other and let them know, hey, I'm still here. And yeah, so that's about all that we learned in the lesson today. There is a lab, and we're about to get right to that. So starting with, we're going to use CDP and other commands, most likely a bunch of show commands, to identify and label the missing IP addresses and interface IDs of the devices in the network. So yeah, we're going to go through and work through that right now. Okay, so I did a show CDP neighbors command in order to figure out about these other interfaces we're connected to. And what we can learn about this is, on the local device here, this is the interface that we're currently using to connect to the other device. So we know that this router R1 is connected to switch 1 on the G02 interface, and we are connected to their G01 interface. And then R2, we're using our G01 interface to connect to them, and we're connecting to their G00 interface, and so on and so forth. All right, now I put the correct interfaces on there, and then we have this to refer to. G01, G00, G01, starting with switch 1, going all the way down to R3. So G01, G00, G01. Now to do the same thing on R2. Let's go. And I'm about to add these interfaces on there as well. All right, now I added all the correct interfaces for the connections that R2 has. Got G01 there, G02 there, G02 there, G02 there. And let's take a look again at the neighbors command to verify. Now I just did the same thing, show CDP neighbors on R3, and we only need to look at it for one, that connection to the switch, because all the other interfaces are labeled correctly. So let's do that. Connected to switch 3, and we're going to use the G00 interface, and then G01 for the switch. So now we got all the interface IDs correctly labeled. Let me show that. Got those last ones done. Now we need to find the missing IP addresses. So I'm assuming we're going to need to do the CDP neighbors detail command, I'm pretty sure. So let's do that. Okay, so I just did the show CDP neighbors detail command, and you get a lot of information. But yeah, I'm gonna just go through, get the IP addresses from here. We got the IP address right there the whole time. Interface, the type of device it is, and yeah. Okay, so after doing the show CDP neighbors detail command, this is what I came up with. The reason why I came up with this is because when I check these commands right here, it gives us an IP address on that interface connected to R3 of 10.0.13.2. And if you go up for that one, yes, 10.0.12.2. So that means this interface right here has an IP address of 10.0.12.2, and that one has a 10.0.13.2. I know that this right here is a point-to-point network, so the only two addresses that are being used are the addresses of these two interfaces. That's why I gave it a /30 mask. So the IP address for G01R1 is 10.0.12.1. G02 is 10.0.12.2. And then if you go down here for the 10.0.13.0/30 network, I did the correct IP addresses on those as well. And I'm about to do the same thing on R3, show CDP neighbors detail to confirm. Okay, and that's the IP address I was expecting, 10.0.13.1. And then we also got another point-to-point network down here, and the IP address of the R2 interface is 10.0.23.1, which I have set up. 10.0.23.0 network, point-to-point network, 0.1 on the G02 interface of R2, then 0.2 on the G02 interface of R3. Okay, couldn't forget about this network over here. So with the in switch 1, I believe, yeah, switch 1, I did the show CDP neighbors detail, and I found the address of this interface right here on R1, the G02 interface, and I assigned the IP address to that, or just labeled the IP address of that. And I also found out that this is a /24 network. I found that out by looking into the PC and checking the IP address. All right, now I repeated the process on switch 2 and switch 3, and we assigned the correct labels to each interface right there. And we got this 192.168.2.0/24 network and the 192.168.3.0/24 network with the correct IP addresses labeled on each interface. Next, this video is getting kind of long, so I think I'm going to stop it here. But I'm about to go through and disable CDP on all the switch interfaces. I'll just do that by doing the no CDP. Hold up, I got the command right here. Yeah, no CDP enable. And then I'm going to do that as well in global config mode. Then enable link layer discovery protocol on each interface, TX and RX for each device, so they can transmit and receive LODP messages. And that'll be it for the lab. But I'm going to stop the video here because it's getting kind of long. But if y'all made it this far, I appreciate y'all. And yes, sir, I'll holler at you.